I want to talk about a new page that I've just added to my website, guitarcharts.com. If you've not used the website yet, then feel free to just log on and have a go with it. It allows you to create and explore scales and arpeggios with ease. So as you can see, you've got all of the charts in front of me, and if I want to start to modify, at the moment it's set up to do a major scale, I could do a minor scale, I could do a harmonic minor scale, and I can then start to modify. As you can see, these are the intervals that it uses, so I could just add another note there. So I've just added the flat seventh, and that's created a dominant bebop scale, for example. You can also choose the kind of guitar, so if you want to work with a bass guitar, it will do that. If you've got an 8-string guitar, it will do that. You can even do alternate tunings like open G, for example. Now this I've covered in much more detail in another video, so I'll not cover this. But one of the challenges as a guitarist you have when you do this kind of thing is that you start to commit these shapes to memory, but you're learning them kind of at a mechanical and a superficial level. You're not necessarily truly understanding the notes that they contain, and that's the area that I wanted to focus on. So for example, if you've ever found yourself sort of mindlessly running up and down a scale, not able to play the melodies you hear in your head, then this might be something that will help you. So if we go up to the training page at the top, you can see it's got the same setup box just there, but below we've got a single chart, and this is really controlled by this section below. But the nice thing about this chart is if we just click on the note, you can see that it plays the notes as we click on them, and just here it's telling me what degree of the major scale I'm playing. So that was the major 6 just there. Okay, and also it has a training mode, and when I enable that training mode, you can see it gives me the root note, just this there, and the question, can I hear that root note? And when I click on the answer, you can see it gives me the next question. So now it's asking for the major 7th, which is just there. There we go. And by doing this, you start to understand what's going on in the shape, and you start to connect the shape with the intervals that it contains against a root note. And just here you can choose which chart you want to train against, or you can choose which root note you want to use, just there. Or you can, and also you can set the octave to that root note. At the moment, all of the root notes are set to do the low octave. I can set it to do the highest octave, which it's doing just there. Okay, so let's go back to that original chart, and we'll drop it down to E again. So as you're learning these charts, as you're committing this stuff to memory, maybe you want to only show the root notes, so it loses all of the other information, and now you're just relying on your memory of the shape in order to be able to play it. So that's useful. Or you can restrict it even more to only show the highest root note, or only show the lowest root note. And just like before, you can still play this chart. Okay, so let's show all the notes again. Now the next thing you can see in this line is it's telling me the interval that I want to find. Now maybe you want to just purely rely on your ear. So what we can do is we can click that to hide the interval, and now it says, can you find the played note? Okay, so now I'm just doing this purely with my knowledge, my connection of the intervals against this root note. Okay. Now the next line, check octave. Sometimes we really only want to focus on the degree of the major scale. Let's say you just want to train that, you don't necessarily care about which octave you're training in. So at the moment it's using that highest octave, and it's asking me about that note, but it doesn't matter which root, any root note will be allowed if I have ignore octaves. Yeah, major 6th, perfect 5th, Okay. Now the final section here is about randomizing this. You can get too fixated with one particular key and one particular shape on the neck. So it's actually quite nice to get it to just randomize this and give me a new shape, give me a new root every 4 notes or every 8 notes, and that's what this is about. So if I do that, or the root, perfect fifth, what's that one? So now it's giving me a new root note and a major second. Okay, so you can see how this is working. So that's the major third, major seventh. And hopefully you can see how this will allow you to connect with each of these charts with what's going on in your head, so you can use this to start reproducing and understanding what those notes mean and how they relate to the chart. So anyway, have a play with it, see how you get on, and by all means get in touch if you've got any ideas, any thoughts and suggestions. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, that's it for this week.